press this button here, right? Press this button. Okay, and it goes on.
Yeah.
It's that one button there.
Okay, what's the game?
But do not press this middle one.
Which button am I pressing?
That's essentially self-destruct, that middle one.
Right, okay, so which one?
The left one.
The left one.
Right. There it is.
We're live.
We pulled it off.
We've pulled it off. We are live for the very first time. Mission Darts Podcast, episode 40. Here we are, Matt. I'm in your studio. Thank you for having me. It's great.
First impressions. I mean, you're going to be rating this. We haven't got our videographer here at the moment, but when he is here, you're going to be doing a bit of a review, one of those sort of...
Yeah.
It's going to be harsh Andy review. It's not going to be as nice as the Wednesdays when we're sort of doing the home ockies and you're seeing people in the sheds and the conversions. You're probably going to be quite harsh with this, although, I don't know if you can be harsh with that throw because you've been hitting some 180s.
2 180s in the first 3 minutes on your throw. Love the throw. I don't know whether it's the small room or I don't. Maybe the hockey's perfect. I don't know. Loving the facilities, by the way. I'm on my third can of pop already.
Third can.
He's got a fridge in here loaded with pop. So, I mean, and they're ice cold. Yeah. I love that. So, yeah, your hospitality's great. We're here. We've made it. We're going to do lots and lots of videos in the next couple of days, but thanks to you guys for joining us. If you're listening on a Sunday regular time, welcome to you as well. And it feels like there's a lot to talk about, and it's almost like the darts world has gone. Matt and Andy are doing their first live next week. Let's make things happen. So let's kick it off. Matt.
And we are watching the chat as well. It's not just going to be we're going to do the podcast while we're live as well. We are going to try and pick out some of your observations and things in regards to what you've seen this week in the world of darts, and there's been quite a lot.
There has been a lot. And one thing I've forgotten to say is the tech's all working. How did that happen?
Far.
The lighting's working. The mics are working. It's amazing. So
true story time again. We're gonna peel back the curtain. We're going to show you a few things. First thing is, when me and Andy started using this technology, these dead cats used to pop off all the time. And then when we got our videographer in, it stopped happening. There was fine, weren't there? There was on there, no problems. Yeah. All of a sudden...
We put them on for the first time, your brand new ones that you bought in August.
Last year.
Yep. We put them on. 3 minutes later, mine popped off. It's almost like if you're a videographer, they stay on, but if you're not, they pop off. So those of you that have probably noticed by now as well, I'll just do a little turn there. Can you see that on camera, Matt? Is that
probably not? No.
No, you can't see it. Oh, well, maybe you'll. Do
you know why? Because the camera's over there, and you're facing this way.
Yeah, well, maybe when we do a bit of throwing later on, something like that.
Oh,
but,
you've just.
It did come on. So anyway, yeah.
Oh, I've really got to tell this story.
Go on.
Because this live, guys, it nearly never happened. Get your violins out.
Yeah.
I have had the day from hell. So if any of you watched the Pro Tour this week, you'll know that you heard my voice on that. I was commentating. It was over in Germany in Hildesheim. Now, this...
could only happen
This
to
was
you.
a trip. So I was meant to be flying, because I knew Andy was travelling down today from Bolton. It's a long drive for him.
So I
thought,
hey! Yes, you got it in.
Driving down from Bolton, long way down for him. And I was like, right, so I don't want to land into London. I need to sort of get to Birmingham. It's closer. I can come back. So I took a connecting flight. So the connecting flight at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, Tom Here's here. I love saying that for some reason.
Okay.
So I took a connecting flight at 6 o'clock in the morning, which meant I was out of bed at 2:45 a.m. to find out that my flight to Birmingham was no longer happening, but I still had the connecting flight. So I had to do a connecting flight from... So I had to get up 3 o'clock, taxi, because my Uber got cancelled.
Oh, my God.
So I had to get a taxi, because the Uber got cancelled, to Hanover Airport, go from Hanover Airport to Munich, from Munich to London Heathrow, but my car was parked at Birmingham, because that's where I've flown from. So I then had to get the underground, which I got to just as it was about to leave. That took me to...
Euston?
Tottenham Street or something.
Oh,
Tottenham
okay.
Street.
Tottenham
Then I had
Court
to
Road.
change lines and go up to Euston. Then I had to get on the National Rail to go to Birmingham to get on a bus to take me to my car to then drive here. So
But he's made it. He's made it. We're here. Made it probably with a couple of hours to spare. So
Just.
it's been a bit of a trek for you, which I never thought you'd say coming from Hanover to. It's almost like you should have took less time than me travelling down, but it's been a bit of a trek. It's been
I
a
think
bit
I
of a
got to
trek.
Las Vegas in less time.
Yeah,
to
I think
get
you.
from-
I'm pretty sure you did.
I could have
pretty
drove
sure you did.
in less time.
So let's kick off because so much to talk about, and we want to do a bit of playing content and everything else. Premier League. I've got to talk last week about Premier League and Humphreys' awful shirt. Now, you know I pick up on stuff like this, but I'm guessing he's a Leeds fan. It was in Leeds, wasn't it? It was his home venue, and I think his shirt it was awful. I hope he never wears it again, but that's not my main reason. Clearly, they're listening to the podcast. Because how many weeks have been going on about Bunting starting 1-2-1 on the Bull? I've been going on about it for weeks, haven't I? Premier League last week, he started it on treble 20 and he hit it. So maybe there's no more Bull starting on 1-2-1.
Do you know, it's funny you say that because I've just been to the Pro Tour, right? And you'd never guess how many people actually came up to me and said exactly what you just did there, that they must be listening to it. You'd never guess how many of the players actually came up and said, I'm listening to the podcast every week.
Is it none?
Yeah.
You thought you were going to get me there. You wanted me to say how many, didn't you? Oh,
To be fair, there are a couple of people that actually listen on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Joking aside, there
Good,
are a
good.
couple of players that actually listen.
Good. And then the Pro Tour. Talk about the gift that keeps on giving. Where you were commentating, I was listening. I thought your commentary was brilliant as always. Not saying that because you sat here. I think you know when to speak and you know when to shut up. Ross Smith hits 2 9-darters, neither of them on the chat. I was like, oh, Matt's surely going to do a 9. You didn't do Chizzy's 9 either, did you?
I was on commentary, but Dan called it.
Dan called
So
it,
it's
yeah.
where the mic dropped.
yeah.
The mic dropped on Dan.
So Bunting started 1-2-1 now on treble 20 after we slagged him off for starting on the Bull. Chizzy was all over last week's podcast as to what a terrible time he was having and how he couldn't win it. Goes and hits a 9-darter and gets to the final. So clearly, whatever we say in the podcast has an impact on what goes on next week. So what shall we come up with? Who wins the next?
Do you know what would be really, really bad? And, you know, I'd hate to see it. I'd hate to see, like, Matt Edgar win on the premium ones. That'd be awful.
I think it only works for darts related.
He's so lucky.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
that
Yeah,
he
just yeah. Where's Matt? Oh, he just won the £1 million. I used to know he's dead now. God bless his soul. A guy I used to play snooker with was the guy who knocked on your door and went, "Oh, my name's Barry. I'm from the Premium Bonds. Could I come in? You've won the £1 million." That was his job.
So I bet you, every time he came around house for a barbecue, he was like, "Oh, come in, Barry, come in."
But what a job. Can you imagine? Like, how do you have a bad day at that? You know, oh, today I'm going to make somebody a millionaire. That's like, you don't have a bad day at work,
Well,
do you?
you say it's not a bad day at work, but let's say life doesn't treat you well, you get a bit down in your dumps, you get a bit potless at times, you know, you're eating beans on toast every night, and you're going out telling everyone else they're a millionaire. I can imagine it's not as in fun
And
then.
to be fair, he didn't live to be an old age either. So, yeah, there you go. Swings and roundabouts. But on the Pro Tour, you're going to have to talk me through Ross Smith, 24 straight legs. Has that ever happened before?
I don't believe so. So I put a post out on X at the Edgar 501, and I put a post out because I wanted to see if that was a record. And from the responses I've got so far, now I haven't got this from a source yet that I find really credible, like an FDI index, like an Wikipedia, those real credible sources. However, I am told it is a record. I believe the record until now was 19, hit by Michael van Gerwen. And let's not forget that it's not over yet, because he's still not to lose a leg. When he gets to the Pro Tour next time, round one, it can carry on. It
I
runs
see what
even
you're saying.
further.
So consecutive legs in Pro Tours. Yeah. So it could actually continue, couldn't it? It could. Yeah, fair enough. Anything? Oh, I see Christian Brubez here. Hi, Christian. How you doing? Chizzy made us scratch our heads this week. He certainly did. Yeah. Nice to see you all, guys. Great to see you on the channel. And sorry if you're hearing this. I couldn't stop laughing at the video at Rowley's in Wigan when you said you're going to take the memory card out of the camera. Yeah. Good shout, Charlie. Yeah, good shout. Rowley's was.
And this is a good thing about
Worth a
live
watch.
because SWJ has just said, I think it was Darts Oracle that said the previous record was 19. Darts Oracle, a very, very credible source within the world of darts. So, absolutely. If Darts Oracle are saying 19, I'm happy to go with 19.
But don't we, with these, don't we kind of go, where's that come from? Like, don't get me wrong, Ross is a great player. And funnily enough, Ross is one of the guys I used to hang about with in my time on the Pro Tour, which
friends.
was not for that. It was and it's one of those where you could
let me
go,
just pick that name
where
below.
are they now?
Oh, here you
So
go,
it
here
was
it is.
Ross Smith,
Oh, there he is.
Joe Murner,
Oh, hang on.
no
We'll
one
leave
has
that
a
one
pro
there.
card, and Jamie Lewis. Former world semi-finalist, not been seen for, I don't even know if he plays anymore. But those
Played recently, yeah.
right, so those three and me would have a beer. But where's that form come from Ross? Like 2 9-darters and 24 consecutive legs. Like how? Almost if Littler did it or Van Gerwen, you'd go, yeah, all right. But
Okay, I am going to chuck in I don't like to be that guy, but it has to be mentioned.
okay,
None of the Premier League players was in the lineup that day. 15 tour card holders were missing. Only 4 of the top 16 was in the lineup.
oh, Ross isn't going to like this if he's listening, is he?
No, and I think Ross would be. I had a little chat with Ross yesterday afterwards. He still feels there's a lot more in there.
Right.
And, I think he would be one of those that would say. I think he'd be one of the first to say, yeah, he maybe wouldn't have done that if it was against Luke Littler, Luke Humphries, and Michael Van Gerwen in the last 3
That's
games.
fair.
But doesn't mean he wouldn't have won them. I think he's on an upward curve, Ross Smith. I was one of those people that looked at Ross Smith and said, take away the European Championship, his TV form has been awful. Not just recently,
Yeah.
forever. Like, he's never really had deep runs on TV.
Yeah.
But he's starting to do that now. It's like he's evolving, and I think this was a good sort of confirmation of that for him. I think you need that. I spoke about this on the stream, and we had a young player. It was a young Dutchman, like Jemiah, I think his name was. He's been doing very well on the Challenge Tour and the Development Tour. And he beat Damon Heta on his Pro Tour debut.
Wow.
And I said on commentary, there's a moment in your life where you go, I could be a professional dart player. For me, it was when I started practicing with Kevin Painter, and I was starting to rival him a little bit, and I went, he's in the top 16 in the world. If I can rival Kevin Painter, I
Yeah.
can beat the others. I reckon that weekend for him would have been that moment, bang. And could this be for Ross Smith, where he goes, actually, I can be an elite dart player. I'm not just can I be in the top 16? I've seen someone in here already say about maybe Ross Smith for the Premier League next year. I think that's what Ross Smith wants,
Yeah.
to be in that conversation.
But I'm going to have to go back to something we talk about every week. I don't like his persona. I don't like his personality on stage. It bores me. Doesn't ever change his facial expression. Walk-on's boring. It doesn't get excited. Doesn't give it it gives it get in every now and again. But do I want to pay and go and watch him at the Premier League? No, I don't.
I've actually had this debate. So I was sat with Daz, who
Maybe he's good on karaoke though, so it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, he can sing Angels.
So I was sat having this exact conversation with Daz, who does the number crunching, Dan Dawson, Luke Woodhouse. Was having a chat and was talking about exactly that.
Okay.
And do you know what? It's interesting hearing the other people's views on what I'm talking about. And because of that conversation, I had other conversations with other players over the weekend. And do you know what my conclusion is?
They don't care?
Not that they don't care, they don't get it.
I mean, you don't surprise me.
They don't get it.
You don't surprise me, Matt.
So when I say they don't get it, it's because when I said to them, and I talked about the singing, and I'm like, I don't like it, and they were like, what do you want them to do? And I says, do something to the purpose of why I've gone. And I explained the whole philosophy of, if I go to watch extraordinary talent, I want to see extraordinary talent, something I've not seen before. And they went, there's only so much you can do on a dartboard. And I says, yeah. So find that thing that makes you unique. I said, Wayne Mardle will be booked forever, and every time he blows that dart out of his mouth and it's a double, that video goes bang and viral.
Yeah.
Because that is something that is him. And anybody else who blows a dart out their mouth, they go, you're copying Wayne Mardle.
Yes.
Because he was the person that took that to a new thing. And if you go and watch Wayne Mardle and you see that moment, I guarantee you'll be sat in a pub in 6 months, a year, 2 years, and go, when Wayne Mardle's on the telly, I want some of him at tops, blowing the dart out of his mouth. But you don't watch Nathan Aspinall and go, hey, 2 years ago, someone was singing a bit of Eminem.
Yeah, which he's been doing this week. And we mentioned Alan Suter the other week. That video went viral of him hitting the double from 2 hockeys down or something.
Bent over him.
Yeah, and through it. So something a bit different, yeah. So talking of something a bit different. Now, anybody listening to us live or indeed listening to the podcast as old as me will remember former world champion, for world champion runner-up, I think, Ronnie Baxter. Didn't win the world championship, did he?
He was a semi-finalist in the BDO, or did he make the final?
I think he made the final. Ronnie Baxter, anyway, the story goes, a friend of mine texted me this week, just had my Amazon delivery delivered, and Ronnie Baxter delivered it. Good old Ronnie's delivering for Amazon.
In the parcel?
I don't actually know. No, I didn't ask him that much. Could have been anything, couldn't it, really? But,
So really, the most important part of this story...
so I could have made it up. So I'll make something up.
Have you got... Is he the sort of person, if you text him now, he'd respond?
No. Right. I reckon he was having a quill pen delivered.
I was going to say we could all guess. You could have
quill
messaged
pen.
him. And
Yeah, I think it was a quill pen. But anyway, yeah, Ronnie Baxter was delivering.
if Andy Cornwall was getting a delivery from Amazon...
Oh, is that what we're going to do? We're going to play the game. What would Matt
would it
be
be?
getting delivered? And what would I be getting delivered?
I think yours would be something posh and fancy. I reckon you'd be getting a crystal wine glass that when you lick your finger and do it at the top, it goes...
You sound like Charlie the cat then from do you remember the adverts in the 80s? Charlie says...
Do I remember the adverts from the 80s?
Charlie...
How old do you think I am?
Charlie says... it was the safety. It was the kids... Be careful when you're crossing the road. Charlie says... Who remembers Charlie says?
Kyle says you'd get a Jan Decker replica sports coat.
Oh, if you could buy them. If you could buy them.
I think you had it at Rowley's, didn't you?
Yeah, no,
See,
that was
you at
me
the
17. That was me
crossroads.
17 coat. Yeah, no, can't wear that again. But so, all right, then let's play that game. Do you buy off Amazon? You must buy off Amazon,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What was the last? Because this is what was the last thing you had delivered off Amazon?
That cable we just used a minute ago.
The one that you went 2 days ago. I don't think we've got a cable for
we haven't got a cable to
I was
call.
like, get on Amazon and get it ordered for Christ's sake. And the last thing I got delivered was a vinyl LP of the Gypsy Kings. Do you know who they are? It's nothing to do with Tyson Fury. No, it's not Tyson Fury. They sing Bambaleo. That one? No. Okay, lost on you. But anyway, that's the last thing I got delivered from Amazon. Anyway, we're at that point.
Oh, I like that idea. Jack Wincott there, he suggested that we'd get a set of 23-gram Matt Edgar darts, which are available as well. You can get your 23-gram Matt Edgar darts on Amazon. They're also available in 21 and 25 grams, but they don't come with this plastic coating. This is where Andy got my mics and was like, Matt, it's been a year.
Yeah.
I think it's time to take the protective thing off. And I'm like, yes, I've had them a year, Andy, but it doesn't mean I've used them much.
Yes. Can't buy the precision darts at the moment because they're out of stock, unfortunately. So I'm not going to hold up mine because we haven't got any, unfortunately. But Edgars are back in stock, so yeah, please do get the Edgars. But we are at the bit. I know some of our viewers want to see, Matt. I know they want to see it. We're going to do some throwing, but we're not just going to do any throwing. We've got a great question that's come in via email. So let me read it to you. This is from Rob Eldridge, who says, "Hi guys, I know you've already put this argument to bed, but I wanted to make a late entry into the moulded versus folded conversation. I have today received my Mike de Decker darts, or should I say javelins, haha, because they're extremely long.
Content coming soon on the shorts and TikTok.
Absolutely. I tried both folded and moulded, and there was a massive difference between the two. The moulded flights flew so much straighter than the folded. It may be due to the fact the darts are long and my grip didn't suit, but he goes on and on and on.
The same.
So my question to you is, why don't we give it a go? Because I've brought a set of Mitre de Deckers with the foldeds. We can swap them and put my mouldeds in and see if they fly any different.
Well, I'm not saying I was prepared, Andy, but if I press this button here,
yeah, what does
you'll
it
be
do?
able to see the dartboard.
So you've disappeared and I can see a dartboard. Where's that button? I want to be able to push that. Right. Well, as I'm in view, you need to go and have a go at it then, do you?
I mean,
that would make sense, really, wouldn't it? Yeah. So have a throw with the Mitre de Decker darts that are on the side.
Okay.
They've got the folded flights in. So we'll have a look, and I can hopefully call out the score here. Like, I'll do a bit of Edgar commentary. He's up to the board. And he's single twig, a bit low on that, a bit higher, and solid 60. And that's typical Edgar. Matt has to do everything the hard way. So if he's going to hit 60, he's going to hit 3 little 20s, not 3 big 20s, because he throws underneath. Now, they're grouping nice, Matt. Is that a ton?
60 again.
60 again.
Can throw anything.
Oh, maybe this game could be how many consecutive 20s can you hit, Matt? Because that's 6. Oh, we're going high this time, are we? Really?
Can throw anything, me.
Can these darts actually not miss the 20?
No, that's just me.
Oh, is that just because you're good? Right, okay. Let's have another look. Oh, we're in the treble now. Oh, give over. Not on camera. Oh, Matt! So close. So close. So nice 140. Right, you've done enough of that now.
I missed it.
Hang on. Oh, hang on.
Still got it.
Is that a 180?
Of course it is.
Have you just thrown a 180 on a live podcast?
Still got it.
Right, and now I have to have a go after all that. Right, come and sit here. So that's with.
There you go.
That's amazing. So
got it.
That is with folded flights in. No, you need to sit there, otherwise they won't be able to see it.
They don't need to see me. They can watch you throw.
Yeah, no, but then you can. All right. Well, I'm just gonna I'll see if I can get used to these.
26 coming in. Go on, 26. After all the joking we do.
Interesting how my darts sit up with these in.
Yeah, I think everything I throw just sort of
I'll tell you what, I threw one over the top there. That was a nice ton, that over the top. How many throws did it take to get a 180?
Someone's just there are 2 people have put 4 tries, and then like how? I think I'm making people feel a bit sick.
Matt, there's another ton. That's back to back tons, which for me is pretty good.
See, I told you I'm probably going to end up like having to play again at this rate.
Right. So my observation would be, I'll come and join you again now.
Okay.
My observation would be, you can clearly throw those darts. If you just grab mine, and we'll swap these over. And you've thrown them very, very well there with the folded in. And to be fair, I didn't mind them either. Now we're going to change to the moulded, which are, I use the Condors. So if you want to go and have a go at those, and let's just see if they react differently.
They are different.
They're flatter, aren't they?
They're changing in the air. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, I can see that on the camera, the way
I'm
that's
losing them
weird.
here. I'm losing them here.
Is it the weight on the back? Is it the extra weight?
They're kicking. Can you see it kick?
Wow.
Watch it over my shoulder. Like, watch it kick.
All right.
You'll see it in the middle.
Yeah, I'll turn around now. Yeah, hang on. Oh, yeah. That's totally different.
I can't even keep them straight.
Wow.
I'm losing them here.
Now, this is going to be really, really interesting because I advocate moulded, you advocate folded. You've tried the folding and, right, okay, well, you've not even hit one treble, Matt. So I think you've kind of answered from your perspective that, oh, no, it's really not flying right for you, that at all. We are going to do some videoing while I'm here of me trying to get the right setup for Matt as well on the back of his dart. So those videos probably be coming either on shorts or on the main channel soon. But yeah, Matt's managed to hit one treble. Right, Matt, let's have a change. And are they any better for me? This will be interesting. This will be interesting. Oh, you've loosened one. Did you do that on purpose? You probably did, didn't you? Just made it loose. Okay.
Seems a bit inconsistent angle of entry there. Dart 2 seems to be standing up a little bit.
See, straight away, I feel more at home.
Yeah.
I feel like I can be more aggressive. I feel I can throw it my normal pace, which is kind of quite hard like that.
Isn't it weird, eh?
Yeah, see, I now feel at home. I feel like I could get used to these if you gave me an hour or so, because I'm now putting more effort in. Look how straight that's going. I don't feel like I can miss the 20 now. I'm just going, I've lost 3. Now that I've put myself under pressure.
Yeah, I was just losing it
tons to
halfway.
finish. I feel like now that suits my throw. I can be aggressive. So maybe folded v molded is more down to the throw than we thought. Than it is the balance of the dart and everything else. Maybe it's down to how you throw it. But that was interesting. That's a really good question, Nat. Thank you very much indeed.
And so what we can do on live, we won't be able to do that normally.
No, we wouldn't. I'll put Mike's darts back together and I'll move you on to a question for Matt.
I just want to point something out here, though, by the way, guys. This isn't just for the live. This is for everything we do. How YouTube works is the more you interact with the content, the better the content will do, the more you'll get to see it. So if you interact with this content, it means you get to see it a little bit more. So what we'd like you to do, and this is just a nice little observation I'm making here, we've got 110 viewers in the room right now, which is incredible. We didn't expect anything like that for this live. We've only got 24 likes. Now, if we could get more likes on this, and when you watch your podcast on YouTube every week, if you could just pop the like on it, that'd be amazing. It'd certainly help us out with the podcast.
That'd be worth a like. You just did a 180 live on camera. That's going to be worth. Yeah, that's going to be worth a like, Matt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the likes on there, guys.
What was it, fourth try, someone said? Yeah,
yeah, I know. Well, he's still got it. At the end of the day, you know, I had it for a very brief period of time. That's a distant memory. You had it for a long period of time, you know? You really did. So, but I've got some really good questions for you. And this has come from Danny Forrest. And you're going to have to listen carefully. I know that you do zone out sometimes after sentence 1. You're going to have to listen carefully to this. All right. So, hi, Andy and Matt. I took up darts a couple of years ago, and I was averaging 30s or 40s. At Christmas, I had an accident ice skating, and I bust my knee. 8 weeks ago, I was able to take the brace off. My stance before was foot side on to the oche and leaning towards the board. So that sounds like Phil Taylor-esque.
Yeah.
Now this is no longer possible, and I've had to adopt a 45-degree foot position. Makes sense. And a more upright posture. Now everything feels alien with my throw and completely unnatural. And I can't believe how a slight change has made such a dramatic impact. By the way, I gave his averages out wrong. He was averaging his best to high 70 or 80 average. My head and my game are all over the place. Do you have any tips or suggestions on how to make my new stance and throw feel more natural?
Okay. I think the best way to answer these sort of questions is signposting. It's not something you can answer directly because I've not seen it.
Yeah.
It could come from many different areas. So let me signpost you into a couple of places to take a look. The first thing is in the reaction of the shoulders. So when you stand sort of side on, you get the fact that the shoulder blade can sort of retract, which will allow the arm to move more freer.
Okay.
It makes a big difference in regards to what the shoulder blade does and sort of what the rhomboid muscle does, which is around the area to contract. Now, if you think of falling over,
Okay.
if you fall over and don't retract the shoulder blade, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So as a stuntman, as a wrestler, when you fall over, you move your arms in a way that retract the shoulder blade so you land on the muscle. So certainly, I mean, just me doing that motion, where I'm just going to put my arms out so, I'm going to retract the shoulder blades, let me land on the muscle, so I can bump. I can take the fall. I can break fall, which will be known in different sports. Now, if you think about that little movement does that, changing and rotating the angle of which you throw is going to change the shoulder. So what we'll probably find is he's probably finding it hard to throw out and extend, and he's probably now starting to feel like he's throwing up and releasing high.
Right.
That will be the most likely thing. So with that in mind, we have to look at the direction and the alignment. So that would be the first thing I'd suggest. Have a look at the alignment. The alignment tends to go in the sense of the back foot, where that is. Certainly someone who moves the front foot tends to not move the back. You'll probably find, if that is the case, you'll have a bit of pain under the lead knee, the right knee, which will be almost like a C shape. So it'll start on the wide outside of the knee, and it'll come round and under the patella. So it'll come round and under. If you're getting that, that's alignment issues. That's the back foot being out. So have a look at that. Have a look at the shoulder. Have a look at where, if it's lifting with the throw. Again, that would then be alignment. So there's lots of different things, and that makes it really tricky because, I mean, this is the best advice I'll ever give you. If anybody out there gives you advice without seeing what you've done, ignore it. Please ignore it. Or if anyone gives you advice because you stuck 3 photos, you throw darts yourself. Here's me throwing 3 darts on a Facebook chat group, and you get 50 different responses. Just ignore them all.
Mate, I had one the other day. Can I give you a ring and you could talk me through how to correct my throw on the phone? I was like, no. Sorry, mate. Right, okay, I got one more for you, and this is really small. But it's Christian Hayes, who we know is a regular on the channel, and he's put, hope all's good. A question comes around whether appearance fees are permitted in the PDC. Like with golf, when Tiger Woods was #1 in the world, he would be paid to play in professional events because the sponsors wanted him there. I think Christian's bringing this up in relation to, we said it last week, Luke Littler's not been turning up at the Euros, etc., etc. Should he be paid to go? You know, what's your opinion on it?
I mean, in certain events, that exists. It exists now in certain events. But I don't think you can then do it for a ranked event. And if you do it for one, you've got to do it for all. Because yes, Luke Littler's #1, but if you're going to pay him to go, why does the world number 72 have to drive a bus still to pay his wages and then has to go and compete in that field? When in a ranked event, the players are presented as equals.
Perhaps just for TV events.
Even then, the where players are not presented as equals, Premier Leagues, World Series. You're not presenting the players as equals on that occasion. But when you go to a ranked event, the players are presented as equal because you go, all you guys have come into the world match play, you've all got £10,000. If you win, you get £15,000. You're all in round 1. There is seeding, but you know, it's not like the World Championships was where you've got to play a round to play them. If you're going to present everyone as equals, they've got to be treated as equals. If you're not presenting them as equals, do whatever you want.
I think there's a couple of things to this. I think at the moment, televised darts is in such a boom. I've spoken to people lately. You can't even get a ticket. Like you can't even get a ticket for the World Championship next Christmas. It's like these TV events are selling out. So therefore, they don't need to do anything any extra. But if we had a TV tournament, let's say, and they're quite short, but let's say it was over a week, and we know we have tournaments that are already over a week, and let's say we're struggling to sell out the Monday or Tuesday night. If I'm looking, going, Luke Littler's playing on the Tuesday night, am I going to buy a ticket? Yes. If I look and go, oh, actually, it's a guy ranked 78 against a guy ranked 92.
But are you going to buy a ticket?
Do I want to buy a ticket? Well, I'd be more likely to. Why are so many people buying Luke Littler darts? They can't use them, but they're buying them in the thousands. Now,
there's a difference, though, with me buying a wrestling figure and going, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go travel 2 hours on Friday night to watch SmackDown and pay a couple £100 to watch the show and come back.
But would you have paid your 10 grand to go to Vegas to WrestleMania if they'd all been amateur wrestlers you'd never heard of?
I booked my tickets before I even knew the card. The World Championship, we don't even know the lineup.
Yeah, but if you'd got there and you'd be like, I don't know any of these guys, would you have been like, I'm not going again?
Okay, I'm going to say something controversial. Please, we've got you guys here tonight to help us out with this. I don't think one single player in the world of darts sells a ticket on the moon.
It took 30 minutes before we heard the world wrestling. That's a great shout. Right, sorry, go on.
I don't think there's a single person who sells tickets.
Right.
I don't think there's a single solo person who you look at the lineup and go, oh, we've got to go Tuesday night. That person's playing. And do you know what? A really good example of this. Remember when Fallon Sherrick was the big news?
Yes.
She played in the Grand Slam of Darts. She played on a Monday evening, and the crowd was pretty empty, and about probably 40% of it, maybe more, was complimentary. And it was a very small crowd, and a lot of it was comps. So...
Yeah, but Matt, at the WDF, the busiest night in the first 4 days was when you were playing. Were they coming to see you?
There was a lot of
was
perks.
It just because it was a Saturday night?
Yeah, there's a lot of perks, yeah. There's a lot of perks to it. Well, it's Saturday night and what have you.
Yeah, and Egg was on.
Yeah.
Not for long, but he was on.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, obviously. It happened.
Right, so let's go back to the original
very
question.
shirt.
Is it allowed? Can the PDC say to Luke Littler, we really want you to play in the Euros, here's 20 grand. Would they be allowed to do it? I mean, say you don't know if you don't know, but...
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Let's answer that first bit. Are they allowed? The PDC do not exist to solve world hunger. They don't exist to grow the game. They are not the national governing body. If they grow the game, bonus. But, and this isn't a knock, this is just, you know, if people think profit's a naughty word. The PDC are a privately owned organisation with shareholders, and their primary function is to drive up profits, to drive up the dividend payments and the shares and the revenue. That is their purpose.
Yeah.
They are not the national governing body of the sport. They are a privately promotionary body. So if they want to give 50 grand to Conor McGregor to come play in something that's against the rules, they make the rules.
Yeah,
They're not governed by anyone.
Yeah.
It's not like if we do something, now we've got the FA in football, the FA won't let us do that. They make the rules.
They make the rules.
If they want to give someone something, they'll give someone.
So they can do what they want.
Yeah.
I've got to give a quick shout out to Rohan, who's a regular. We've read out questions from him before because he's up at 3 a.m. watching this. So I'm guessing Rohan's somewhere in America where the time difference is quite vast. And shout out to you, Rohan, because being up at 3 a.m. to watch me and Matt is pretty special. Thank you. Thank you for that. I've got some comments as well. We always have some comments, Matt. Last week we spoke again about 78 and me saying the reasons why. And I've got a few people agreeing with me, but not many.
Before we get into that,
go on.
We're going to go with Matt's rant of the week, which is also a comment.
I didn't know this was coming.
Oh, this is.
Oh, I can't wait for
stupidity.
this.
This is stupid. It's fine. And what brought it up to me
on.
is Tom here said that he will buy a ticket for a Raymond van Barneveld exhibition. He would pay money to go see just Barneveld. So, made me think.
All right.
We did a the Darts Goat YouTube short video.
We did.
Who are the greatest players of all time? And some
Oh, yes.
David
I know what's coming.
has come along and he's gone, but Barneveld wasn't a 5-time world champion, he was only a 1-time world champion because the 4 world champions he won was in the BDO, and it's like...
How do you know he spoke like that?
Oh, he definitely did.
Did he? Is that how he spoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
How on earth, just because that's his opinion, does he think he can rewrite the history of the sport just because it doesn't agree with what he thinks? What is wrong with people?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't... Yeah, I'm not one of those that goes, he only won the World Championship once because he only won it on the PDC once. That's like comparing him to... who's won it once? Gerwyn Price won it once? That's right. So that's like saying Gerwyn Price and Barney are in your top 5. They're the same. They're the same of all time. It's not like that. The fact Barney didn't come over till late in his career, that was his choice. He won it 4 times on the BDO. Guy's a legend, and I think you're forgetting all the other titles he won as well, because there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff, and the 9 darters and everything else, and still going to this day. I don't know how old he is. Do you think he's hit 60 yet? He can't be far off, you know.
I agree with James.
What's James saying?
Shane McGurk is a world champion, end of. Now, this is where people get confused, because you think of the lineal progression and the lineal line of sport. Is Shane McGurk the best player in the world? No, we haven't said that. We said he's a world champion. Yeah. Is he a world champion? Yes. Why is he a world champion? Because he won the tournament that was the collection of a ranking system that was worldwide. It wasn't just played in Barnsley and Wigan. No. This was a worldwide tour where players were picking up points from America, from Canada, from Austria, from all around the world. These people was putting on ranking tournaments. Was the standard as good as the PDC? Absolutely not. That's changing the narrative. That's reframing things. And you don't need to reframe it. It was a worldwide tour where the best players off that tour filtered into an event, and that was the World Championship. What are you going to call it if you're not? The collection of events championship? Like, what are you going to call when you've done the England Open, the Wales Open, the Austrian Open, the Australia, the Spanish, all these different Opens? What do you call Lakeside then?
Yeah.
What do you the Roundup of the Year award? Like,
I know.
It's the World Championship of that system.
It is.
Just because that system's now not as strong as the other doesn't mean it's not. And that was the original World Championship. Yeah. And my argument, I'm going into rant mode here, aren't I? My argument is always very much the same. If we're saying what makes it the World Championship is 1, the standard, and 2, the payout, and 3, the broadcast, what happens if Saudi come along and they go, we're going to have a £10 million World Championship, we're going to stream it on Netflix, and all the top 32 players go, 10 million, we'll have a bit of that. We're all going to go play over there. Does the Alexandra Palace no longer become the World Championship?
No, of course it does. It's still the World Championship. Yeah. I just spotted right at the top, Paul had made a good comment that he booked the first night of the Worlds knowing that the World Champion always plays on the first night. Yeah. And that's probably all we know, isn't it, about the order of who's going to play when, is that the World Champion plays on night 1. So that's a bit crafty, that. I quite like it. And he put the other players were just fillers. They may, well, I don't know, he was on night 1. But yeah, if you want to see Luke Littler at next year's Worlds, get tickets for night 1. Yeah. Until the PDC change you after listening to this. But going back to the 78, Zach has said on 78, because those of you that didn't watch last week, I'm sure you all did because you're subscribers, but my way on 78 is to go treble 20 double 9. If I hit the single, I go single 18 tops. Zach has said 78, you could go for bull double 14, and if you hit the outer bull, you've got options. I'd never thought of that. It is possible, but
Smallest target on the board.
yeah, smallest target on the board. So, but I'm sure Mensa would like it that way. He likes a bit of double 14, does Mensa?
True story time. You know you love a true story here. A little bit of insight into things. So we was filming a video that I don't think ever got released because it didn't quite work out right. We need to reshoot it with like proper equipment. Well, actually, it's the same equipment, just someone who knows how to use it. And we was measuring, weren't we? Because we were going to say how many bullseyes can you fit in a treble 20 and how many bullseyes can you fit in a double.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I've gone, right, okay. So I've measured it and I've gone, yeah, it's like 1.1 centimetres. And Andy's like, okay, 1.1. I went, hang on a minute. And then Andy's like, Matt, what are you doing? I'm like, I've got to measure it the other way.
It's a
because
circle.
it's a circle. So it's going to be the same that way and that way. So,
Yeah, it's called the, is it the circumference, isn't it?
Something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that. It's a long time since we were at school, isn't it? Right, last week we asked, does anybody collect anything unusual? Remember?
Yeah.
You've got your toys and you, well, we could do a full podcast on what you collect.
well, just to point out there, you know, because people have sent a few little gifts in before. You know, I collect wrestling figures, retro, like 90s Hasbro stickers, things like that. Football things, Corinthians, Turtles, Power Rangers, Pogs.
And I just collect whiskey. So, it's easy Christmas
You know,
gift.
just if you know,
Easy
if anyone's
Christmas
thinking out there, you know,
gifts,
I'd love
yeah.
to send something into Matt. You know,
But
suggestions.
at Spiders, the clues in his title, he collects insects. He's got 90 tarantulas, 90,
Good song.
plus a range of roaches, millipedes, and scorpions. And they're all in the room watching him as he plays darts. 90 tarantulas. You all right with spiders?
I hate them. Jodie has to move them.
Imagine if there was 90. Imagine if he took the lid off and just let them run about in here now. How long would you be able to stay in here? There were 90 tarantulas running
Well, what I'd
about?
probably do is I'd probably move over to my WWF Hasbro figures on the card. Jodie's but no shame.
Oh dear. And one final comment, Matt, and then we might do another little throw.
Hang on, I'll tell you what, let's do a game. Right.
Can we do the final comment first?
Right.
And
All
then
you've
we'll
got to
the
do,
game?
press this button here, right? Press this button. And it goes on.
what's it? Yeah.
It's like one button there.
Okay, what's the game?
But do not press this middle one.
Which button am I pressing?
That's essentially self-destruct, that middle
Right,
one.
okay, so which one?
The left one.
The left one
Right.
turns it on and off.
That-
But I'm not going to touch the
Right.
middle one.
Right, okay. And then
Okay.
we'll go to the chat here. So what we're going to do,
What are we going to
now
do?
that I've been talking about my 1990s WF Hasbro figures,
Right, what's the game?
where's the set of darts?
What do you mean, where's there a set of darts? We're in
Right.
your studio. Your darts
Here
are
we
right
go.
there.
Yeah, but Jodie's messed around with those.
Okay.
I'm going to throw 3 darts at the board.
You've not even got the right flights in. But anyway, yeah,
No,
go
it
on.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's
Okay. You're going to throw them in the board, yeah?
Treble 20.
Treble 20, yeah, okay. Please don't do it again. If you'd done hit another 180, then
Okay,
I'd have
100.
had to hit the middle button. Right, you've hit 100.
100. Okay, right. So, what we're going to do now, turn the board off.
Push the left button.
Yep.
Board's
We're going
off.
to turn the board off.
Why did you have to click twice then?
So I'm going to go to the chat. 100, guys. Next visit, is it higher or lower?
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I thought I was going to have to throw then because I think we might have got a few lowers.
Higher or lower than a ton? See
Higher.
who's got the faith.
Higher or lower than a ton? Well, it's going to be lower, isn't it? There's no way you're
going
going to
lower?
get more than 100, even with your own darts. It's going to be lower.
See what the
Oh,
chat thinks.
Terry's saying have a game of 501. I don't think we've got the scoreboard and stuff for that, have we? But we might have a game. We'll have a game of something else. Oh, we've got a higher. Rexy's 44. We know Rexy's 44 has said higher. Everybody else is saying lower. James is saying give us a song first. Do you want him to do Angels or Eminem? We got another higher. We got a same. Rohan said same.
okay. Do you know what, right? We're probably
And Jody said, I knew you were going to do the higher or lower game. Right, okay.
I probably need to
Board's
turn the
back
board
on.
off. So actually, it's
Board's back on. Okay, here we go. It's definitely lower.
Oh, hang on,
Yes!
it's not lower yet.
It's not lower yet. Okay, 2 trebles needed. No.
85.
85. See, I think...
Someone predicted 85.
Yes, but I think what you should have done was... I should have thrown 3 darts and then we should have asked them, will you score more than me?
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to throw
Okay.
3 darts left-handed. I want everyone in the chat just to make a prediction very quickly. And
3 darts left-handed.
3 darts left-handed. If you get it correct...
What are we going to send them?
We're going to send them a prize.
We're going to send it right.
It's an interactive... This is the little special of the live.
Right, this is the special.
Chuck in a prediction. What's the score going to be? I'm going to do it left-handed. If you get it right, we're going to send you something.
We're going to send you something. Right, you've got 20 seconds before he does it. Andy for the win, James has put there. Right, okay, scores are coming in. They're all coming in.
If 2 people get the same one,
yeah,
then we'll do it again.
Okay.
Or we'll have a tiebreaker.
So pick a unique score if you can.
We'll have a tiebreaker of some type.
You got about another 10 seconds. Get your scores in. How do we stop it? Because the score might come after you've done it.
So just pick someone and say that's the last score.
Right, okay. I'm going to give a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, Dean Webb is the last score, so it's anything above Dean.
Well, actually, so you've called that there. Yeah. There'll be a little delay.
Is there a little delay?
There'll be a little delay going in, so it should be stopping round about now. Okay. Right, here we go.
Okay. Left-handed.
God, you got no finesse or anything with left-handed, have you?
No, there's you don't even look like a dart player with it.
20.
Oh, what? What? He's hit a 21st dart. He's not far off a treble. I didn't know you could play left-handed. You don't even look like a dart player left-handed. You look very strange.
I can't get past it though. That's the problem because I can't.
Get it right over the top.
Well,
okay.
That's where it's going to get tricky.
Go on,
now.
go for it. Go on. Here we go.
See,
12.
Can't go over.
52. And 20, 52.
Did anyone have 52?
I don't know how you scroll it up without breaking it. Did anybody get a 52? I don't think so.
All these scores and no one's gone 52?
No, nobody went 52. Oh, nobody went 52.
I like that. Stop. Just nearly a treble 20 left-handed.
Yeah. That was mad. That was mad. Right, I'm going to do comment of the week. Why have we frozen there? Any reason?
No, it's just because we're reading.
Just catching up, is it?
Yeah.
Right, you can turn the dartboard off for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah.
Turn the dartboard off. Right, I'm going to do comment of the week, and then we'll come up with one more game between us. Okay, so comment of the week, as you know, if you're regulars on the podcast, gets a prize. So the person I'm going to read up, you send an email to youtube@missiondarts.com, and I send you some goodies. This is coming from Stan Nelson 2582. And his is about bounce outs. Remember we were saying there's more bounce outs. There's definitely more bounce outs. There's more darts coming out the board. I love Stan's theory. I absolutely love this theory. Whether it's right or wrong, Stan's getting a prize. What he's saying is wires don't flex. Wires on a modern day board are embedded into the board, and so if your dart comes into the sisal, it can go through the sisal and hit the wire that's embedded in the board. So it doesn't look like a bounce out because it doesn't hit the wire, but it's hitting the wire underneath the sisal.
I would go... I thought it was going somewhere else, and I agreed with it until that theory.
Oh.
Because the spider wiring that goes into the board, it's not going to have as much room to flex, is it? The sisal, the biscuits that they sort of compress together. Is it a case that the spider wiring system's making it more compact in spaces? We're seeing a lot of dead spots.
Yeah, I think boards have been compacted more, but I like his idea that potentially, if you think about where the wire is, and wires are quite deep, by the way, I've seen them be knocked into a board. If your dart comes into the sisal, it could go at an angle. It goes through the sisal and then hits the wire that's embedded in the board. I think it's a great theory. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't care. It's a theory I've never heard put forward before. So well done, Stan. Comment of the week, and we'll send you some goodies.
And Mike's wife's just subscribed as well. Welcome to the Mission Darts Podcast. If anyone in here, by the way, is not subscribed, you can subscribe to the Mission Darts Podcast, episode number 40. And
They need to be subscribed, otherwise they can't comment.
There's no sign of slowing down on the 40, is there? He won't let me. It's literally every week, like, right, when are we doing the pod? Then we have that debate where, and then you're like, oh, you hate committing to things.
12 weeks' time. We'll have been doing it a year. 12 weeks' time. Right,
Matt. That argument every week, don't we? When I'm like, can you do it Tuesday? I'm like, I might be able to.
Yeah.
And you're like, can you just give me a date? I'm like, it might be Tuesday.
Yeah, it might be Tuesday.
It might be morning, it might be afternoon.
Might be 10:30 at night. We've done that before now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Right, you can give me one game then, and you can test me out. Let the viewers decide. Give me a checkout. Here we go. Give me a checkout between 41 and 61. And the viewers get in the comments, will I hit it? There you go. I'll just have 3 practice starts. You can.
No, that's a bit too 50-50 for my liking, that.
Is it? Is that too easy?
Yeah, it's a bit too yes or no.
Oh, all right.
Well, I like things with a bit more variety.
Yeah, you just want to give me something really difficult. I
know
that.
A little bit of variety. Everyone's saying 78.
Brilliant. That's good. Well, we can have a go at that if you want. Right, let's have a go. Is the board on or not?
No.
Yeah, right, okay. Go on, get the board on and we'll see if we can hit 78.
There you go, it's on.
It's on. Right, okay. And that, ladies and gentlemen, first go is how you hit 78. He might have his 180, but I got the 78. Treble 20, double 9, there it is.
I think we shouldn't go any further than that. I think we just turn the board off now.
Is that a good way to finish?
Yeah, because we're going to ruin the illusion. People think we can still play the game.
They've seen you hit 180s and 140s. They've seen you hit 20 with left-handed. They've checked me out on 78. 2 darts, done. What more can we do, folks?
Yeah, we'll leave it there. We know when to walk away.
We do. And we are going to do more lives, aren't we? We've said we're going to do more lives and some playing content and things like that potentially on the main channel. Yeah, we've got some booms, some fireworks, some love. Thanks, guys.
There's going to be lives on here. There's going to be lives on TikTok. We're going to be pushing more down the lives road. Certainly now I've got this lovely place here. We're going to do some lives where we're going to play you guys. So lots of stuff coming on here and on the main channel. Now I've got the software up and running. We've got the cameras. I mean, look at that. We're multi-board in there.
No, it's amazing. And thanks very much to all you guys for joining us at 5:30 on a Wednesday. We massively appreciate it. Maybe we got more than we expected. It's great to have you on. It's great to be able to interact with you, and more of this to come.
We'll catch you soon for episode 41.
We will. See you later, guys.